I understand that the boatage was instrumental in helping some the natives of the Philippines when the typhoon hit back in 2013, and that ship, which is a predecessor of this one, I think, was instrumental in making sure that the channel into the harbor was clear so that the Navy hospital could arrive without any obstruction.
Yes. Mapping of the ocean floor is very important. You see this harbor out here. If it wasn't mapped properly, there could be a lot of issues. There's a lot of ships that come through here, and especially for scenarios like that where you need to get an important hospital ship into the port to help people out, you want to get in there safely. It's all about safety.
Right. Tell us what aerographers' mates typically do in the Navy.
Typically, aerographers' mates in the Navy we are the meteorologists of the Navy. A lot of us get into the oceanography field as well, and we do whatever we can to help with different mission sets. Mostly our job is for safety of navigation and safety of operations.
Which is the main channel running in. It's very wide for the large tankers and cargo vessels that come through.
Right.
And that runs right up through underneath the Verrazano Bridge, or the Narrows Bridge, right into upper bay of New York City. So on all those ships that are coming up to this area, they're carrying all that cargo and whatnot. They're either going in over to head over to the ports of Jersey, typically, and a lot of times those big cargo ships, when they offload those big containers that you probably see on the highway riding around, they're either offloaded straight to a truck and then taken to whatever location, or they're put onto a barge and then taken to their next spot with and then offloaded again. So some of these things actually flow then up the Hudson River further up into New York. And,
on the barges.
Yes, and there are buoys that we service all the way up the Hudson River, all the way to Albany. So very far.
Oh, so you do all the Hudson as well?
Yes, sir. All around Staten Island through Arthur Kill, the entire Lower Bay or Raritan Bay, and even halfway into Long Island Sound as well.
The variety of missions that we do see. So we're stationed in Kittery, Maine, so we operate all down the eastern seaboard doing fisheries and LMR. And at the same time, we can be sent south at any point to do law enforcement operations. So we can be in the Caribbean. The next month we'll be in the Eastern Pacific, going through the Panama Canal. So just you work with a wide variety of people in a number of missions. So the experiences you have, the different cultures you get to experience, it's really rewarding. Doing LMR and fisheries, so just enforcing safety and fishery regulations on the East Coast. Whenever we do boardings, we primarily focus on the safety on board the ships, life jackets and other things of that nature, and then also with fishery, just making sure they have the proper gear on board to protect different species, the size of nets, or just their gear, the tackles they have on board, things of that nature. So that's what we're focused on right now in our 90-day patrol. We're in New York.
From my experience working with the AG community, I've seen at every level, every mission that you do is affected by weather. So to have a quality body of people who are working together makes a huge difference.
Right now, I've actually just finished a class with University of Southern Mississippi. It was a 5-week class to teach me all that I can get to know about unmanned systems. The Navy is trying to become the world's leader in unmanned systems, especially in the maritime field. So we are trying to get as many AGs and anybody else that is interested into that field, because that's one of our next big missions we're trying to take on.
So the namesake of our ship, she was a lighthouse keeper back in the day, and right here in New York Harbor there's the Robbins Reef Lighthouse, and she actually was the keeper of that lighthouse. So she kept the sound signal going and the light on for mariners as they came into New York Harbor. And that reef right there, many ships have actually run aground there, and people have died there. over hundreds of years, but during her tenure, she actually saved 50 lives. She actually got out in her rowboat and rowed out to them and pulled them out of the water when they ran aground there.
The Coast Guard and NOAA has a relationship. Does NOAA have any buoys that they operate? So tell me if that's so.
Yes, sir. We have a great relationship with NOAA. In fact, offshore and even nearshore, there are quite a few weather buoys that are out there.
Right.
Some of them are 3 meters, some of them about 5 meters large, and they're marked in a yellow color. And a lot of them have a lot of advanced weather equipment on board.
Right.
And they're used for weather predictions all down the coast. So right now, in real time, you could go on your phone and pull up what the weather is, just guessing, but 10, 20 miles offshore because of those buoys.
Yeah.
And even inshore here, in some of the harbors and whatnot, the buoys actually have other meteorological equipment on board for taking into account the current, so the movement of the water.
Sure.
And then the high and low tides.
Everything NOAA does.
Yes, everything NOAA does. And they're on our buoys.
They're on your buoys, so they're Coast Guard buoys.
So some of them are on our buoys, yes, sir.
So NOAA doesn't actually, sometimes they may own their own?
So they have those big yellow buoys. Those are
theirs.
that's their equipment.
Is that the Melville buoy?
Yes, sir. Really, the partnership for those buoys that are offshore really occurs in that we will load the actual buoy on their buoy on our buoy deck, and we will put it out in the water for them.
Right.
And that's really the heavy lift right there, getting it out there. However, they provide the equipment.